I did not want to see this movie 2 weeks ago. I could have cared less. I still haven't seen Prey. I didn't like the Alien versus Predator movie that I saw, and then I went to see one other Predator movie in the theater, and it was god awful, just god awful. One of the biggest pieces of crap I ever saw. So, and the fact that this is Disney now, Disney owns Fox, I had very low expectations for this. But Ben was keen to see it because he's a big old nerd. Ben,
Big
would
old
you
nerd.
like to try and synopsize this film for our audience?
Yeah. So essentially, the film is about a young predator who is a runt in his clan. Like he's literally smaller in stature, and in true Spartan style, they believe that they need to call weakness from their clan. And he vows that I'm actually going to kill the most powerful or the most fearsome creature in our corner of the galaxy that even my father is afraid of. And so he goes to this planet, Genna, and well, there are some more details that go along with that, but I'll withhold it for the spoilers. But he has kind of a crash landing on Genna, and he realizes very quickly that he's overwhelmed. However, he even though he's a runt and all that, he is no slouch. In fact, I believe that this predator could probably do pretty well taking on any of the other protagonists of the other predator films just fine, maybe with the exception of Arnold. I don't know. But yeah, he arrives on the planet and is pretty overwhelmed by the native fauna there, and he encounters an android from the Weyland-Yutani Corporation that was there. And this is interesting. And I was
Played
trying to
by
figure
Ella
out,
Fanning.
yeah. And it's interesting because I think this might make it one of the latest entries in the Alien Predator canon, like
Well,
nerd canon, but
technically.
because the Weyland-Yutani Corporation has kind of had this epiphany that they can have their deep space expeditions manned by androids exclusively. And it's funny because this is the one Predator film where not a single human dies because there isn't a single human in the film, a single human character.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
really interesting that way. And yeah, and so I think that's as much as I can say without getting into the spoilers. That is the synopsis of the film.
Well, let's add to the fact that at the beginning of the movie, this predator, his name is Deck, if I
Mhm,
remember right,
yeah.
played by Dimitrius Schuster-Koloamatangi. Don't say that too many times quickly. He's fighting his older brother to like kind of toughen each other up, and then their dad arrives. And I wasn't expecting our two new releases to have a thematic similarity, but if they do, it's terrible fathers, horrible, horrible, no good, awful, awful fathers. The
Yeah.
father, the father wants the oldest son to kill the younger son, and but the older son says he doesn't want to, and instead he saves the younger son, and then the dad kills the older son, and yeah, right at the beginning of the movie, they've got this family rift, and so that's kind of the headspace that the predator Deck is in. Is that his dad just did this to them and killed his brother, so he's kind of grieving throughout the movie,
Yeah.
but in a predator way.
Yeah.
Elle Fanning's character does a lot to this movie because if she weren't there, we would never get inside this predator's mind because that's just not the way the predators are. So it is the kind of movie that humanizes a predator character. I thought it was very similar to The Mandalorian.
Yes. Yeah. That was what I was gonna say. They're definitely bringing that DNA to it, and this is also, I would say, the Predator series is Terminator 2, where like in Terminator 2,
Mm,
the Terminator is humanized and he gains a family and things like that.
right.
That's pretty much what happens in this
Yeah,
one
yeah.
too. And I
And I'm a
don't
sucker
know.
for that. I'm a sucker
I
for the surrogate family thing. I I have mixed feelings about it
I do, yeah, with this one because it's like,
because I
I'm,
don't know
I'm
if this was the movie to do it with,
yeah,
knowing its fan base. If you're a fan, essentially, my review of this movie comes down to if you're a fan of the Predator movies as they have classically been, where the Predator is a bad guy, a monster to be feared, you're going to hate this movie probably. Because this movie humanizes the Predator character. You sympathize with the Predator character. The Predator makes friends. It's I've seen some. I watch people on the left and the right because I like to kind of keep my finger on the pulse of everything. And I've seen a lot of backlash from
Mhm.
people on the right about this movie
Huh.
because they're saying it's a feminist predator. Well, it kind of is. I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, how many more predator movies just like all the others do you want? Like if you're going to keep telling stories about the predator, I feel like at some point you have to develop the character.
I do
And
agree.
they did a
There,
good job doing that with this, I think.
I I mean, I agree they definitely had to shift the paradigm a bit, but I just feel like there was too much comedic relief. Like,
I liked the
eh,
comedy.
I was gonna say
eh,
I'll probably like it then. I have not seen it, but but I will probably like it then.
see, I just, with Predator, I think of just brutal, atavistic, like high tech, space hunter and stuff like
Sure.
that. And I feel like he definitely maintains a decent level of that, but then there's just too many moments where it's like, this doesn't feel like a Predator to be like a Yautja, like they're just absolutely dogmatic. Like that's part of what they are in their culture. But
Yeah.
and this is another thing where
Well,
it's just kind of like another case where I don't think enough has happened. I haven't been shown enough as a member of the audience to believe that the character is feeling this way and doing this now. But
I bought all the characters' transformation steps towards his character arc. I didn't have any problems with that. That seems to be a Ben hang up with movies
yeah,
as of late.
sometimes, yeah.
But I feel I'm surprised this movie did so well at the box office because I thought as soon as the word got out, the target audience of young men, well, hell, not even that young, people mine and Dave's age that grew up with Predator, the real diehard fans are not going to like this movie. Disney has this
Um,
way of putting, they call it a girl boss in everything. Like they can't have a male protagonist these days without a woman telling him what to do. Famously, they did it with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny because they put Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And there's this diehard male part of the audience, this rigidly inflexible male part of the audience. They can't stand that. And I think as soon as they saw trailers for this, they could tell that Elle Fanning was going to be a girl boss. So I was kind of hoping she wouldn't be for their sake, but she is. She's literally strapped to his back, telling him what to do, what to feel, and she gets to him. She's able to change him. I wish this movie came out 20 or 30 years ago, so it existed outside of all of that political, sociological, toxic awfulness that's going on right now, where every movie has to be examined under this ugly paradigm where everything's black or white, feminist or whatever. I wish it existed outside of all that stuff because I thought it was a surprisingly good movie,
yeah, it
even
is
though it
good.
does adhere to all that recent dogma. So I think I've seen a lot of people in my feed really like this movie. I've only seen one or two people go off on it.
Yeah,
Overwhelmingly, everyone's surprised. It's
that's it.
fun.
The
It's
action scenes,
fun.
there's a lot of action, and they all the action scenes are amazing. Like for wherever we're going with modern cinema, I think we've reached the apex of combat choreography. Because the opening duel with him and his brother and stuff, I love that. And like I said, he's no slouch, and he takes on some big bad like creatures on this planet, and he makes it look easy. Let's put it that way. Like it's awesome.
And the movie's
But
cute. Ella Fanning has a sense of humor. Her character. I mean, she's ripped in half, so she's kind of got to have a sense of humor, even though she's an android and probably shouldn't have one.
it's just
She's got
too
one.
it was too much for
And they
me.
pair up with this little creature. They pair up with an adorable, kind of ugly looking CGI creature. The CGI is not the best. And
That was like the Grogu box they were checking with that one. It doesn't, I don't know.
but
It didn't
but
feel.
I love the fact that there's this deck predator character that doesn't speak a word of English in the whole movie. All of his dialogue is subtitled. And then there's this android who's cut in half. She's just an upper torso. And this weird little monkey dog creature. That's our heroes for a big chunk of the movie. It's the three of them, this weird motley family trying to survive on this hostile planet. I loved that. That won me over. I kind of dug it. But I could see where other people who are big fans of classic Predator, they're gonna
Yeah.
despise this movie.
I won't
But
say despise it, but it did kind of, I don't know. I have to maybe watch it again with a different mindset, like you were saying, Frankenstein, and I don't know. Because like
I
I
was
said,
expecting to hate it. I was expecting to hate it, and I didn't. The score was good.
yeah,
It was
yeah, they had
real
like a
deep
couple.
and guttural at times.
Yeah, they had a couple of tracks where it was like Predator sort of sounds, like guttural and like almost like a Mongolian throat singing kind of thing. It was really cool.
A lot of it was shot in New Zealand, which we all know is the most beautiful place on earth. So it takes advantage of a lot of that. And it, did you notice at the beginning or near the beginning the title card? I haven't seen this in a movie since the 70s or 80s, maybe.
Yeah, where it
The
has
title
the
card has
copyright and everything.
copyright, year of release, 20th Century Fox Film Corporation.
Yeah,
Why?
I've se it was interesting, and I have seen films getting creative with the opening title card, like, Evil Dead
Well,
Rise had an
doing
amazing
that
title reveal.
specifically is a grindhouse thing.
Yeah,
When we made Headless, we put that at the beginning. And when the title for Headless comes up, it says Headless, 1979 American Filmways Corporation or something.
Yeah.
Because that's what movies used to do, but in the 70s. Like they quit doing it in the 80s. And we haven't seen that since. Why? And I'm like, man, that is a stylistic decision right up at the front of the movie telling you how to take this movie. So I think it might have helped me watching this movie, how to like frame this experience just by observing that title card with the copyright symbol and the date and the name of the company. Like that was so weird. But I thought, okay, this is an old school drive-in midnight movie. And so I was thinking that way when I was watching it. And in that frame of mind, I kind of really enjoyed it.
yeah. It
I
is
hate
solid,
liking a
just not
Disney
quite.
movie. I hate it.
Yeah, like, it's definitely leagues ahead of The Predator, but I still liked Prey a little better, I'd
I
say.
still need to see Prey. Is the
Yeah.
Predator the one that I saw that has Arnold Schwarzenegger making a cameo at the very end? And all these Predator dogs have dreadlocks. And
Yeah, yep, I remember the Predator dogs with dreadlocks,
I'm
yeah.
serious. That's one of the 5 worst major studio releases I've ever seen in my entire life. I can't believe how bad it was. Let's review this one, unless you've got anything else significant to say about the film.
I don't think so.
What's your 1 to 10 score on it, Ben?
So, I would be inclined to give it a 7, but the combat choreography, the action scenes were so cool, and that is what I wanted to see in a film that centers on Predator character that I gotta bump it up to an 8.
Wow.
You truly are a Predator nerd because you can
Yeah.
criticize this movie substantially, but you love it at its concept so
Yeah,
much that
yeah.
I get it. I get it. There are definitely movies like that I can say, yep, this is wrong, that's wrong, but you know what? I don't care. I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't think I loved it an 8. I am going to give it a 7. And I think it's worth going to the theater to see. If you can kind of clear your mind of all the socio-political bullshit in the air, and if you're on the right and you hate what Disney does with all their movies, they're bastardizing all your macho stuff that you fell in love with, clear your mind. Clear your mind. Just go into this and just have a fun time at the movies. It's a good movie. It's actually a surprisingly good movie. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll end on.
Ben's score is an 8.
Oh,
So it's,
Ben scored. Nope.
Oh,
Hold
on
just
now.
went up to a 10. There you go. Ben scores an 8. Scott scores a 7. Yeah, we'll get the scoring thing figured out.